Oh, so having technical difficulties, y'all. Lord. It's like I see videos when that happen, and it's like, what the fuck? And then it's like you want to be embarrassed, but I can't afford to be, okay? So anyway, where was we? Before we was rudely interrupted. Okay. So guys, I'm talking today about how to replace your paycheck doing locks. Okay, if you want to replace your paycheck, right, and actually do this for a living, um, in a way that pays way more than your freaking job does, and takes less hours, and less mental space, and lets you be home with your kids when you want to, right? Um, you know, I know you want to feel accomplished. I know you uh, want to wake up grateful for the day again, right? And sometimes that's hard, especially when we don't know how to change our circumstances around the money that we are making, right? So a lot of people want to do this. They want to get into doing locks, and we all know it's a lucrative business, it's lucrative, but how much money do locticians actually make, right? And it totally depends on your mindset. So I don't want to make it seem like all locticians make the same amount of money because they truly don't. What happens is the ones who think like employees, they make the least amount of money, just like how the world is. Employees make the least amount of money in a company. So if that's your thought process, then I don't know if you're going to make six figures. However, if you want to do a self-employed business model, which is different from employment, right? So we definitely want to understand a few things before we just get out there and leave the job. And like when I first started doing this, I thought that, that sounds good. You would want to leave your job so you could stop, working somewhere where you don't like, working around people you don't like, doing whatever with people that you really just don't be around, right? That's what I was thinking at first. And then we actually did it. We actually did the class. And once we did the class, I'm getting on with women and I'm saying, hey, what's the paycheck that we need to replace? What's the amount? And I started finding out that women in my class that had signed up, they were making, some of them were making $100 a week after they paid every single bill. Some of them, one lady, she actually was making less than that over 2 days. She was working somewhere where she had to commute to for 40 minutes, and they were paying literally $75 a day. And then we found out that it takes about $20 each way in gas to get back and forth. So you're spending $80 to make $150. And this was like, we want you to go ahead and replace your paycheck because when you do, then you'll actually start getting paid. Like most people, they don't even get paid. You're so used to your whole check just being for something else, or going to something else. So yes, if y'all was in with me on the other live, yo, I'm like, wait a minute, what the hell? But anyway, so back to our story, okay? Before we was rudely interrupted. All right, guys. But anyway, so let's go back to understanding. We talking about ways to replace a 40-hour paycheck. And I want y'all to know that in 2025, that's like one of the easiest things to do these days is to replace it. Here's what makes it hard. And this is for people that don't own a business, right? You have to figure out your own schedule and your own timing, just like a job does. A job will give you a schedule. They give you a set pay. And then they give you a check that you got to basically use that check to survive. And so this is the problem with that, is that it's one amount of money, and then when you get it, it's gone before you get more money. So what happens when you become self-employed is that you get cash flow now. So cash flow looks like I got paid a few minutes ago and now I'm about to get paid again. That's how it is when you get cash flow instead of a paycheck. When you get a paycheck, you're literally just taking a few crumbs from one day of work, and then you got to work another 5 to 10 days to get that check. So the other thing too, y'all, I don't know if y'all know this, but I do a lot of research on how did people start taking jobs. And you know, when we come out of slavery, it's very easy to see that you might have took a job because you had parents, grandparents, or somebody rooting you on that was the right thing to do. I want you to know that those people was coming out of second or third generation slavery, right? So of course they would tell you that you should work hard to be successful and all of that because they had to work hard to be successful to survive, right? So now if you want to survive, you don't work hard. You get smart. And this is 2025. I think that God heard so many of our prayers asking him for forgiveness on this money thing. Like, what did you put us in, you know? And they'll say, well, God didn't bring me this far to let me down now. And they'll keep going to a job, to a job, to a job. But let's talk about how to make your own company using locks and doing lock services, okay? I want y'all to know that I started doing lock services when I was about 17 years old. I was in hair school, and I could have went down the path of everybody else doing braids and weaves and quick weaves and, you know, relaxers, all that stuff. That's what was popular when I went to school, not locks. But as I saw that people didn't know how to do locks, it made me kind of stick to them, especially in the shop. And so what I found was that I could, hold on, y'all. Yeah, what I found was that I could make more money. Hey, Frankie, how are you? I found that I could make more money doing locks than I could other hairstyles. And here was a few of the reasons. One of the reasons was because when you do locks, or back then when I used to do locks, nobody else was doing them, you know? And so I had that to myself. So I would go perch up in a barbershop and all the barbers would send me their lock clients. So I go work in a shop that got like 10 barbers and one chair for the loctician. And I would go there, and on the first day, I would get hella walk-ins just from the barbers in the shop with me. So that was one way that I grew my clientele as a loctician, which was super, super easy, right? Well, that still remains today because a lot of barbers do not want to do it. So if you're struggling to build your clientele, the first thing I would do is send you into a barbershop, especially if you are in a city or a state rather that doesn't regulate natural hair. Like where I'm from, New Jersey, we have to have a cosmetology license. We have to have all of these things before you can actually just become a loctician. Before you could become any damn hairstylist, right? And loctician is a word that we actually made up. We made it up, okay? Good morning. Thank you, Social Event Exchange. Thank you for even paying attention. I want you guys to know what I have going on now. Replace your paycheck if you need to replace a paycheck. And you taking 40 hours to make it. I want y'all to get this. Nobody's taking 40 hours to make a paycheck. You know how long it's really taking? Way more than 40 hours, because unless you get up and your job is literally at your bed, you spend time getting there, you spend time going back, you get gas, you got to do a uniform, you got to pay a babysitter, you got to do all this stuff just to remain with this check, right? So we want to talk about that because I know y'all tired of feeling like you working for nothing. And if you, because the sad part is that once you get to a certain age and you feel like you working for nothing, there's almost nothing that you can do to fix that, because you could think about it, but your brain power is dwindling down because you older now, and your ambition, right? And that youthful ambition that you used to have, you probably don't have it anymore. So if this is you guys and you definitely need to replace that paycheck, just get in a call with me, and it's a strategy call. See exactly what we could do to help you replace your paycheck, because literally locks is it though, okay? So we got our lock extensions. That's one way to replace your paycheck. And this is from people that work at a job. This is not for locticians who already got a bunch of clientele. This is if you work at a freaking job and you miserable there, you hate it there. I want you to quit today if you live in a state like Michigan, right? If you live in a state like Florida, if you live in a state like South Carolina, you can actually just go online and take a 6-hour test, get the paper notarized, and you will have a certificate where you can do natural hair. Now, if you do that and you go to a barbershop, I guarantee you, you will replace that paycheck by the end of Tuesday. If you started on Monday, if you started on Tuesday, you're gonna replace that paycheck by the end of Wednesday, because that's how much money is circulating around. And another thing that happens too when you keep a job too long is that you start imagining that everybody's broke. Nobody has any money. Oh, I can't charge anything. I want you to know, if you become a hairstylist, you will start understanding that these people be having money and they will pop it out for whatever they want to buy, right? So if you're experiencing that where they don't want to buy, it's usually because your skills is not there. Another thing I want y'all to do, and matter of fact, let's talk about some don'ts, because I'm talking about do's. What you gonna do? You're gonna do lock extensions. You're gonna let me help you get a product line so that you're making money, even if you don't feel like doing any hair, right? Y'all know that product lines is one of the most lucrative, like that's how Bronner Brothers became the mecca that they are. You know, is that they had salons first, then it went into products, and then they started going around sharing their products with other companies, other salons and stuff like that, and they kept on doing it every single year, and it became the Bronner Brothers show, which happens twice a year in Atlanta, sometimes in New Orleans now, right? We're talking about the six-figure loctician, or, and I don't even want to say loctician no more, y'all. You know why? Because I mean, we created that word, right? And now it's like I'm realizing that most locticians don't know what the hell they doing. They don't take pride in their work, and they be leaving the customers with a dry scalp, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to replace this paycheck. So you don't want to go down that route, because I'm telling you, you don't have to come to me to learn how to do locks. You don't have to come to me. But if you don't, then you gonna get y'all need to go look at my reel. It shows you all the clients that you get broke ass, dumb ass, slow ass, no money having that out replacing a 40-hour paycheck with locks, right? Now I want to tell y'all that it's some magical thing that you need to do to replace this paycheck, but literally there just isn't. There just isn't. If you start doing locks as opposed to working at the typical job that pays a 40-hour paycheck, you will just get a raise just by moving over on your first day, on your first week. The cool thing about it is you get paid again tomorrow and the next day and the next day, right? The cooler thing about that is that if you get products too, then now you're getting paid when you don't work, right? And this is the gem that I want you guys to actually, and when I said gem, G-E-M, like diamond, this is the gem that I want you guys to get, is that there is so many more ways to make money than working now, especially in 2024. You don't have to work to make money. Like, a lot of y'all do this on y'all phone. Y'all on YouTube looking at me. You on Facebook looking at this. You on Instagram looking at styles. But did you ever realize that you could just make money with that phone if you knew how? Now, this is the thing. So we want to replace our paycheck with this 5-hour hairstyle for now, right? Because that's going to get your time back. However, once it does that and you got the clients, now you're going to realize this is a job too, right? So in order to hedge yourself from finding that out too late, because most people find this out too late, and I will tell you why they find it out late, is because usually they do not have a mentor, right? When you decide you want to leave your job and you want to keep going and stay out of the workplace, right? It's important to get yourself around entrepreneurs. It's important to get yourself around people who have done it, and I'm gonna tell you why. And this is very much what happens, okay? This is the difference, all right? So you want to replace this paycheck, because what will happen is you're going to get in a circle of people that respond two different ways, okay? I want y'all to know that this is what usually happens when somebody decides to get into that other quadrant, right? They decide, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. I could do better than this. I'm going to trust in my talent. The first thing that's going to happen is every person around you who never, ever lived a dream in their fucking life, right? They ain't never ever did shit that made them feel accomplished, right? You probably married to one of them. You probably friends with one of them. They could be your parents, okay? You're going to tell the wrong person about your decision, right? And they're going to be somebody who don't own a business. And you know what they're going to tell you? You crazy. Oh my God, what did you do? You quit your job. But in the same exact conversation about leaving that job that's with entrepreneurs, those entrepreneurs are going to clap. They're going to cheer you on. They're going to be so happy that you decided to step out on faith and trust your own way of making money, because that's what we do. And once you start knowing that, look, I can make $200 myself. I can make what they trying to give you for 5 days. You literally just make a plan to make it in 1 day. And that's what I help locticians do. That's what I help barbers do. Right now I'm helping barbershops as well. And if you guys want to get products, I want you to get that. You might hear me saying, hey, learn how to do locks. Hey, learn how to do styles, right? But it's the impact of what that does for you. It's the impact of what it does for you, okay? Because anybody could tell you, hey, come take my lock class, right? But when you lead a class, do you need more help? Is it basically just making clients not like you? Because a lot of people is going to a class and that's what's happening. You getting out of the class, you do somebody here and they don't like it. So you just paid somebody else to teach you how to run customers away. However, in mine, right, I want to tell y'all some differences now. When you start seeing courses, replace your paycheck, this and that, you're going to see that all over right now because it's Black Friday. Right? You're going to see other people telling you, hey, learn how to do locks with me. You're going to see other people saying, hey, start your product line. You don't have to lift a finger to sell to your clients from the chair, right? I'm going to be telling you the same thing. However, I'm in the industry doing this, right? These people that you're talking to, they don't have one product regimen that works, and you think they know what products are about. Mistake number one. Mistake number two in the lock industry. Y'all be watching people who got lock extensions tell y'all how to grow out locks. Stop it, right? Y'all watch Chris. Chris told y'all that retwist and don't lock hair. I just want y'all to know that I don't even know what he's talking about. Okay, so it matters who you get this information from, because if you want to replace your paycheck, you need to do this junk right the first time. You don't want to be taking classes for years, do you? Some of y'all do, because I get people that be like, I've been following you for years. And they took classes that other people was teaching. It's like, that's why you still need to know more. Because you don't see any of my students getting in nobody else's class. They never come like, oh yeah, I took Yanni class. They don't, because from day one, my students are past what's supposed to be a professional loctician. My students are. But yeah, I just, I do this because I'm realizing that this is what is needed. Like, we want to be able to leave generational wealth in our family. We get in business because that's what we think it is. And I'll tell y'all a little story about what I was thinking when I got in business, right? Now, when I first got in business, I was about 22 years old, and I was opening my first hair salon, right? And in my mind, it was just like, I'm loving what I'm doing. This is going to make me rich. This is going to make my family well off, right? And so what happened was I started doing as much hair as I could, right? And I became booked and busy, and I had over 800 clients, right? At the time of me first leaving New Jersey, I had 10 stylists in the shop with me, all that I trained, nobody with a license, everybody doing my lock clientele, right? And what happened was, I got to a plateau where I had to either go up on the prices of the clients or either do more clients, right? And, after a while, you can't go up no more, okay? Because what you going to charge, $1,000 for a retwist and style? I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people might do it. However, I don't believe them. But what was happening was I would plateau, because the more people that I did, the less time that I had. So I had the money, but you don't have an unlimited amount of time. So I ran out of time. And what I mean by that is I started getting sleepy. I'm tired. Everywhere I go, I'm stopping at the light, I'm sleeping, right? That's what was happening to me, trying to make as much money as I can doing hair, right? Now, the issue that I didn't know at the time was that it's flawed. The way I was thinking was flawed, because a self-employed person thinks, I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to do this myself. I'm going to do this myself. So I was thinking self-employed. I'm going to get my own shop. I'm going to train my own staff, right? I'm going to do all of this stuff. I never thought about the fact that it was only 24 hours in the day, right? So while I'm over here doing all the right things to build my business, the wrong thing I was doing is not using a time budget. Like most people, they do a money budget, but you need a time budget. So if we want to replace our paycheck, we need to start looking at how much time is it really spending you to do these things, right? Because what will happen is, because we as hairstylists, we can actually take people at our house. That cuts out your commute, right? We can actually have people bring money to us. That cuts out the paycheck. It cuts out the waiting for the check, and it actually puts you in the driver's seat for your finances, because if you do need another $900 because it's something unexpected happened, you do have a way to get the $900. The way you living right now with your job is that if anything unexpected happen, you're going to be in trouble, right? So we want to basically get you guys on track to be in the right space, okay? So you want to replace your paycheck. You want to learn how to do the 5-hour hair appointment, right? You want to learn it from me, because that's why it's 5 hours. It's not 5 hours if you go learn it from InStar. It's not 5 hours if you go take Chris's class, right? And I want y'all to get to is that if you need a lock class, then you definitely don't need to do locks, because most people learn it on YouTube, right? And then we have tutorials. My tutorials are so step by step that it's like you can learn it from the tutorials, right? So what happens is, instead of me giving you a class and coming out to you, instead of me giving you a bunch of videos to look at, right? What I do is I get in your head and find out what's keeping you from not doing the locks correctly, right? Because that's what's stopping you from replacing your paycheck. But let's talk about what this looks like, okay? Let's talk about what this looks like. So you're going to say, yes, Yanni, I want you to help me replace my paycheck. If anybody is feeling that way, down in the comments, I would love for you to put, yes, Yanni, help me replace my paycheck, right? Okay, so I'm not gonna wait for y'all to write that. However, the next thing that's going to happen is that we're going to get together, and I'm going to show you exactly what most people are doing wrong that causes their lock extensions to just slip out, okay? I'm going to also show you what most people are doing wrong, that when they list on a booking app, it shows nobody their booking, and that's why they don't get booked, right? I'll show you how to get booked on the booking app, right? So when I talk about replacing your paycheck, I'm not just giving you some generic class that anybody, can look at. It's an actual set of steps of exactly what to do, okay? When we list, so what we do is we learn the 5-hour hair hack. I'm gonna show you the exact stitching that the needle is supposed to go through to make those lock extensions last and for them to be permanently installed. And they permanent, as soon as you do these 6 strokes, right? Your lock extensions is in permanent. And so that's why we could do them so fast as to promise that you will be able to replace your paycheck in a 5-hour hair appointment. Don't get me wrong, you can learn this from anywhere, and it could take longer, but you want to definitely make sure you learn it properly. And that's why you can't afford to be going to different classes and this class and that class. The other thing is too, because it's too much riding on this, and we really need to replace our paycheck. So this is not for you that is on the fence about which lock class you're gonna take. This not for you that's on the fence about whether your job, maybe you should stay a little bit longer. If you, I want y'all to get this, a lot of y'all be like, oh, I be staying for the benefits, right? And you never ever look and see that you can get benefits for less than $100 a month, right? You could pick a client who is a steady client and have them pay for your benefits, right? You understand how this works? Is that you basically get to decide how much money you make by charging what you want, and by deciding how many clients you're gonna take every single week. That could be one client, because I want y'all to get this. When there's hairstyles out here that cost $1,000, right? And it don't take 2 and 3 days like sister locks, right? Because sister locks, that install sometimes be 2-3 days, and they give you $1,000-something. However, when you start going day after day after day, that $1,000 start looking like $330 a day real quick. It started looking like $333 a day when it took you 3 days to do $1,000 install. We don't like that kind of stuff. We like the ones that's $1,000 and quick. That's how we replace the pay. Not saying go and work long as hell to replace the pay. A few little hours, okay? And here's the thing. I had women who did the class and they said, oh, it took me so long, right? That's because it's your first time, right? Your first time, it is gonna take you longer. It might take you longer than 5 hours. However, if you keep on doing it, you're gonna get it down to 5 hours. Not to mention the fact you should have it at 5 hours, at least by your second or third client. So let's talk about what it looks like to replace that paycheck and start doing services, okay? I want y'all to know that any service business will replace a job's paycheck, okay? So when you sitting there thinking, oh, I should, yeah, you should, because if you do, Christmas gonna look way different. Christmas is gonna look way different. What is this? Drench God, Ty, what you say? You said my what? Okay. Nothing that needed to be seen by nobody else, I don't think. And I love these kind of videos because you always get trollers who get on there and they like saying stuff, you know, they want to say stuff about you or whatever. But literally, I've been on this. Okay, let me see. Oh, he said, oh, okay. Yeah. All this money we talking about, and you decided that you needed to pick out a feature of my face that you was in love with, well, boy, bye. And this is why y'all, like, I ain't even gonna make this about men, but I'm gonna say some men. This is why, like, some men, y'all don't have shit but a penis, right? And I'm gonna tell you, you better start cherishing some women because that shit ain't gonna work for that much longer, okay? Y'all be eating all types of stuff that make that shit work for literally about 20 years. At that, okay? So don't worry about my chin. Worry about you, okay? Now, anyway, guys, we talking about replacing the paycheck, right? That's what we talking about. And literally, this is for the people that need it. If you don't need it, then it's not for you. But I want you to understand that the last time we did this training, the longest one took 12 days to replace the paycheck, okay? And that was all it was, 12 days. So what that looked like is that they signed up for the class, they got the kit, right? And then when you get your kit, we meet for the training. All this happens in the first 7 days, right? And what also happens in the training, so I don't just teach you how to do the style, right? I don't just teach you how to do the style. I teach you how to get booked. You see, that's different. Because a lot of y'all is taking classes from people that think they know how to do styles, right? But when it comes to putting you out in the culture, and now you got to get a client, where your clients at? Not only that, where your confidence at? Y'all don't even be having no confidence. So we want y'all to have clients and confidence. Look at this. Oh. He is early in the morning trying to throw insults. Hold up. He said you got a chin like a superhero. Your mama got a chin like a superhero. That's what you need to know. Drench God Ty. And you on my video at before even 7 o'clock in the morning, getting all this good energy. And you, oh God. Matter of fact, I ain't even gonna keep on commenting on the video. Drench God Ty, whatever the fuck that even means. Keep commenting on the video. Okay. Anyway, what we want to do is replace the 40-hour paycheck. We want to make sure that everybody out here that want to do locks knows that if you want to come out your job, if you sick of working in a place that you don't like, let me see. This is cute. All right, let's see. Yeah, if you tired of working in a place that you don't like, I'm putting you in timeout because you dumb. I'm gonna put you in timeout for 24 hours like a little ass kid. My locks look dusty. That's called ash blonde, stupid bitch. Okay? Y'all know that it's always, this is the issue with men. right? I don't know what kind of men these be, but they be in competition with women where they want to go into calling names and doing childish shit, as y'all can see on my messages. Y'all can see if you're looking at the chat, you'll see that Drench God Tie was timed out. I don't even know. Oh, you got timed out for 86,000 seconds. I like those kinds of times. Ooh, he said my locks look dusty. Actually, this is honey blonde. This is ash blonde, and I didn't really leave it on long. You know, and it's my thing is y'all can say whatever y'all want about my hair. Battle me though, you know. Put me up against you. Let me do one of your clients. Matter of fact, then we'll see what's dusty and what's not, okay? Because that'd be my thing, is that I'm not talking about something that I want to do. I'm talking about something I do. I'm talking about something I do. I'm talking about help that I give and gave. So that's the point, is that y'all new wave locticians, y'all don't know how to get along, y'all don't know how to take constructive criticism, and you think that what you need to do when everybody's in a learning mode is come on here and act stupid. Well, you got the right one, baby. You got the right one, because I got time. You know why I got time? Because I replaced my paycheck a long time ago doing what we do now. So like I said, I'm helping do something that I do. This is what I do. Now, if what you do is get on people's videos and act like, oh, you gonna say this about somebody's face. He talk about my face, my chin, my this, my that. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. Okay? Because this be the thing, right? And this is why I usually don't even go back and forth with people on social media, because most of the time they gotta go back to work. You see? And you'll be sitting here like, I got all the time in the world, okay? I got time because I do this on the internet. This ain't me just showing y'all some shit somebody else did. This is something that we do. This is something we do. Oh, him still trying to leave messages and be on my video? This how you know when you the shit, y'all. This how you know when you the shit, because it's always somebody who swear they don't like what they see that won't get off of your video. But anyway, I'm going to keep the task at hand. We talking about replacing your paycheck. We talking about replacing a paycheck. This one talking about trying to find something, some kind of flaw he could find. He said my chin. Boy, bye. Boy, bye. Now he retracting all the messages, Lord. Don't retract your messages. Leave them up there so my goon squad could see it. And somebody that know you probably going to check you, okay? Leave it right on up there. But anyway, I'm talking to the ones who want to replace their 40-hour paycheck, and you know how to do locks even just a little tiny bit, okay? And you know how to do locks just a little tiny bit, right? If you know how to do locks, comment on the video. If you want to know how to do locks, comment 1 on the video, okay? Because that's what I came up here to talk about. Let me see. Grande Papacito asks where I'm from. Where am I from? I'm from New Jersey. I'm from Newark. I'm from where locks started being styled at first. That's where I'm from. Where you from? And do you work a 40-hour job and need to replace your paycheck? Because that's what we talking about, y'all. That's what we talking about. He's talking about my chin big. Did he see my lips? See, what you gotta know is when you insult somebody, right? You need to try to insult people that ain't grow up with a family that do the dozens. Like, we hike you down, boy. You don't want no parts to be like that, okay? Right? And it's always somebody who ain't got the courage to get on a video who commenting on some shit. Like, boy, bye, be quiet. Nobody's worrying about you. Exit from Bay Area, full-time work for myself. Oh, okay. Cool accent. Well, my accent, I'm going to tell y'all, my accent is not from Newark. It's from listening to Snoop Dogg first album. When it first came out, I never talked the same ever again. Then I lived in Atlanta for 10 years, doing lock classes, stuff like that there. And then I'm back and forth from New Jersey, back and forth. Cool accent, full-time work for myself. Okay, so are you doing locks? Can you do it? Now my dog making all this noise in the back. Anyway, this is what I want y'all to know if you are doing a 40-hour paycheck. Once you switch over to this, the commute is gone. You could decide whether you want to work or not. you decide whether you want to drive out to work or not, right? Another thing that makes this good is the fact that there's always a local barbershop or shop in your area, so you don't have to drive far distances. Most of the time there is a shop that is walking distance from you, right? So when you think about that as a worker, as somebody who is working at a job, don't you want to work somewhere where it's close to you? Not only that, let me tell y'all some of the perks, okay? If you haven't worked in a shop and you do hair, then you gotta understand some things that are different, right? Like for us, we could be late, right? If I be late, I'm late for doing my client, I could probably reschedule them or I can set something else up for them. Most jobs you do, if you late, they got a certain amount of times you can be late before you get fired, right? Not gonna happen here. Other jobs, they give you a Christmas bonus that they take a little piece out and they save, this much, and then at the end of Christmas, that literally be your month of December. That literally be your month of November, right? All that money that you've been setting aside. And understand that time is money, right? When they say time is money, if you are waiting in between like 7 days before you get paid again, insane nowadays because we don't have to. We get paid every couple of minutes, right? Now the thing is, as doing locks, and the funny thing is, when I first started doing locks, nobody wanted to do them. Like stylists did not want to do it. They didn't like it. They were saying all types of crazy stuff, and it was just a lot of negative stigma. So they didn't want to do them at all, right? And then you had the industry that didn't want to promote locks. You know why? Because they didn't have no lock products. So if you look at what happened in recent years, we got all these lock products just popped up out of nowhere, right? Now you got all these people promoting locks and all of that stuff like it is something that everybody wants to do. But that is so new. So this is the thing. If you trying to learn locks, you probably even getting it wrong. You probably getting it wrong because, you know what, y'all? I'm going to fade back in after the kids go to school. Okay, that's what I'm going to have to do. And Drench God Ty, right? I'm about to put my phone number on here. 862-241-2075. Call me, baby. Talk that shit on the phone and let me know where you at. Let me pop up where your location at, and let's see what you guys say then, okay? All right, y'all. After my kids go to school, I'm going to come back on here. But I'm going to give y'all the real steps to replace your paycheck. Now, I told you we did it in the 12 days, right? Do I got to show y'all? The question is, do I got to show y'all the video? Because that's what it be. It's like, I be coming on here saying stuff, and you like, okay, she just saying that, but I got the Zooms to prove it. You see what I'm saying? Every time I meet with my students, we get on Zoom or Google Meet, and the sessions are recorded. What you hear in those is, oh, I got a client the same day. Oh, it was easy for me to book, what you don't hear, right? And matter of fact, I might not have to go anywhere. I can stay on. But this what I want, okay, wait. I got something to tell y'all. This is one hack, because, so the first thing you're gonna do when you decide that you are gonna do the locks is we want you to get on a booking app, right? I want you to get on a booking app. The reason why I want you to get on a booking app is so that you can be amongst other stylists, right? Now, at first, most people, what they do when they're gonna get when they're gonna start doing hair in a certain place, the first thing that y'all always do is look around at other people's prices, and then that's how you price yourself, right? Now, here's the issue, is that that is the absolute worst way to start your business, by looking at somebody else's prices and mimicking what they have. Let me tell you why that is the worst thing you could do. The worst thing, and I know that, you know what? A lot of people got out the video when I just said that's the worst thing you could do, because y'all doing it and you did it, and that's why your clients don't want to pay, all right? So you got clients who don't really be wanting to pay. But here's what you do, is you don't price yourself like everybody else, because what happens when you do is you become the generic nothing, just like everybody else is. You become the, oh, last time I went to her, next time I'm gonna try somebody else, and I'm gonna try this one, I'm gonna try this one. That's what your clientele will be doing, because at the end of the day, you want to have the same exact prices as somebody else, and they got the same exact prices as somebody else and somebody else. Now, this is the problem with that. Let's say that I do hair, my shit lasts a whole month, and I matched her price. of $60 and her shit lasts 2 days, right? Did you know that by just inheriting that price, you're going to have clients who think your shit gonna last 2 days too? Because you mimicked that brand, right? Why would you have a better product that costs the same amount as a raggedy product? You wouldn't. So when you do that, the clients think that you have trashy work, right? Why else would you be charging so cheap? Why else would you be having a hard time getting people in your chair? And why else would you be doing what the people who ain't even succeeding are doing? That is what is happening when you do that, right? So let's talk about the booking apps that I like, okay? And this is all to replace your paycheck. I'm gonna share with y'all some gems or whatever. And it's like, there's so many people on here, nobody's responding but the jackass who wanted to try to say something about my face. Ooh. Anyway, that's how it be though. You know, when you trying to elevate people, you always get the devil coming in and he's gonna make sure that whoever distracted is distracted. They're gonna make sure of that, right? So let's talk about the best booking apps that I like. So I have heard and used Style Seat. I have used Gloss Genius. I like Gloss Genius. I know there's also Booksy. There's The Cut. There's Vagaro. These are all the booking apps, right? So if you haven't gone full time into doing here, you might not even know what the hell booking apps do. You asking, am I a hairstylist? Have you looked at the videos? I'm a hairstylist extraordinaire. So I am a licensed cosmetologist. I have been licensed since 1998, right? And I used to own shops and teach people how to do locks in my shop. Hurry up, girl. And teach people how to do locks in my shop. Okay. Oh, awesome. Well, what I'm showing women how to do today is how to replace their 40-hour paycheck with a 5-hour hair appointment. What happened? So since yes, Jamie, I am a licensed cosmetologist as well. But what happened with me was that I started teaching lock classes back in 2012, right? And I started this channel actually before that, right before that, 2011. This channel right here started putting lock styles on YouTube first that were thoroughly done by a professional, okay? Because you had a lot of videos that was just people doing their own hair, right? However, I started putting my tutorials on there that were also the same videos that I sold at the Bronner Brothers show when we got a booth, and at the World Natural Hair Show, and the whatever hair expo, right? And so I started this channel after I came back from a show where everybody was asking me to teach them. So understand, I've been doing locks since it was hair magazines out. And I got published 36 times in a hair magazine, which is what got me kind of popular. Then I wound up going to a hair show, and I realized all these people knew me. They wanted to take classes from me, and I started this channel. So, yeah, Yanni Red, YONNIRED. Just Google it, Google it. So, what I also do is I help stylists level up. I help stylists get products. I help stylists open up. Not really stylists, but I help locticians and I help barbers. I help barber shops. That's what I do. I kind of went over the cosmetology people because they didn't want to learn how to do this when it was coming. You know, the barbershops didn't want to learn, so now that's how we got a loctician industry, right? However, most locticians don't know what the hell they doing, okay? And so I get up here and I show them what to do instead. I show them how to do hair care, that's for real. I show them how to get rid of dandruff. I show them how to stand out. And I show them how to be in a room around cosmetologists and still feel like you are the expert, you know? So, I am a hairstylist, you know, by license, but I don't do hair for a living anymore. I teach people the transformations that help them grow their business, you know. So if you want to start your own product line, you're in the right place. If you want to start offering lock classes or any type of classes, then you're in the right place. I have a program called Hair Legacy that actually teaches And that one is for cosmetologists, but it teaches you how to monetize yourself. Because us as hairstylists, like, that used to sound good. It's almost like a rapper, right? When people just say, oh, they made it rapping, we used to think, oh my God, you made it. But now we know that means you ain't make no money. You know what I'm saying? And that's the same thing with hairstylists. A lot of people is living off of that image of, oh, hairstylists make a lot of money, hairstylists make a lot of money. But what's really happening is y'all is working paycheck to paycheck. You live in paycheck to paycheck. And that is what we break them out of, is that living paycheck to paycheck every single day, no matter what, because it's, okay. So how do you teach? Are you looking to monetize yourself so that you don't have to teach each class, or where do you teach? Are you teaching at a school? And yeah, I do these videos. If you look through my videos, you'll see it's all about locks. But more importantly, what it's about is basically the transformations that's going on. When you look at my video for my trailer, is the first thing she says is, when you can leave your job off of taking a course. And so that's what I do, is I turn them into experts immediately. And even when I see people say they're a natural hair care specialist, I don't be believing them. I'm going to be honest, because most natural hair specialists, y'all ain't been to school. And they don't be knowing nothing about chemical products. They don't be knowing nothing about pH balancing, nothing about shampoo and the parabens or ingredients that actually create a dry scalp or any of that. And they actually listen to product companies who real agenda is to make profits and not healthy hair. So I usually clash with natural hair care stylists because they don't be having no care. Now, if you got some, I want to recommend your class to other natural hair stylists because they literally don't be knowing what the hell they doing. But today I'm just talking about how to replace your 40-hour paycheck. And the reason why is because there's so many styles that cost over $700 that's done with locks. It's so many. You know, it's so many ways to make over $700 an appointment. Right, okay. Yeah, so it's like we've got, and even in the cosmetology industry, like the cosmetology industry be acting like they don't even know what to do when it comes to locks. And so, Jamie, since you are a natural hair care specialist, you would know exactly what I mean when I say that locticians are being promoted finishing products as styling products, right? They are being promoted that, saying, hey, do your retwist with this. And then we look at it and say, that's a finishing product. You don't style nothing with that. That's for after you leave out of, that's for the last finishing touch, right? So, the first thing I ask is, you doing it with lock gel? And we talking about replacing a paycheck. Let's go back to that. This would be one of the reasons why you can't replace your paycheck and it's having you a hard time building your clientele, is because you use the same product as everybody else. So if you out here using something to twist with that look like edge control, this would be one of the reasons why you probably having a hard time replacing your paycheck as a, doing the lock services, right? Y'all never seen me do no twists with nothing that look clear and shiny like edge control. You've never seen me do that. Yet my retwist still lasts longer than any stylist I ever seen. I ain't met one stylist, and I met a lot of stylists because I've been doing classes for over 10 years. I've been working in shop hopping, work here, work here, work here, work here, work here. I've been going from state to state. I lived in Atlanta, New Jersey, South Carolina. I've been to Texas. I've been to California. All these places teaching my class. I can't find one person who even know how to do the retwist palm roll correctly. But you can find a bunch of videos about people talking about how retwists don't work. You can see a bunch of them using that product that's a finishing product, acting like that's that product you use is the reason why your retwist doesn't last. But they sold you that, and so you think because the company said it that that's what's true. Y'all must have forgot that companies is out for profit, you know. And so when we talk about replacing the paycheck, it's not with trial and error. You're not going to replace it fast with trial and error. If they want to do it fast, then what they going to do is allow me to just show you the stuff that's most important, so you could actually just leave all the other crap behind. You don't even have to do that. But let's talk back about if you want to replace your paycheck. Why would you want to do that, right? Now, one reason why you definitely want to do it is, I'm going to say, because the holidays is coming and you probably want to buy some stuff that you ain't really got enough money for, right? So if that is you, I really don't want you to get into class, okay? The reason why is because you don't have a big enough reason why you need to change your lifestyle, okay? When you start hating the job, when you get older and start realizing if you got to keep coming here, it's going to drive you insane. Those kinds of people, they get in your class and they do what they supposed to do, right? This is why we like them. Those people who just don't even see the problem. Like, if all you thinking about is I need to make more money for the holidays, then you don't see the problem, right? We want the ones who understand that you need more money. You need more money coming in. You need to make more payments, right? You need to just do whatever you want to do. And I'm going to tell you, the reason why I'm so adamant about, debt control, just doing what you want to do, is literally because most people, y'all grown, but you don't make any of your own decisions, And I'm so happy that I did start doing hair early, because it allowed me to be in this mindset and to see this stuff for what it really is. Most of these jobs are promising you things that you could get for $150, like benefits, insurance, right? 401k, that's something that you shouldn't even get. So a lot of y'all got a 401k right now. You can't touch it until a few more years pass, right? You fuck around and die before a few more years pass, right? Then what? And not only that, we got to stop falling for it. And this is all about replacing your paycheck, guys. I'm talking right now about the people who didn't replace their paycheck. This is what they got y'all going through, right? They'll tell you, like one of my friends, he said, he just asked me a few days ago, what you think about a CD as an investment vehicle? And I'm like, I don't think about a CD as an investment vehicle, but I do know that people who have mutual funds that trade at 8 to 12% will tell you to get a CD that trade at 3%. Yeah, they'll tell you that because they don't have to even pay you. The little bit of interest that you accepted is what you're going to get paid. Now, the thing is, until you replace that paycheck, you don't even know that a CD is not an investment. They told you it was, right? Until you replace your paycheck, you don't even realize that your 401k is not really an investment, right? They told you it was. All it is somebody holding your money for you, right? And then when you want something, you can't even get it. So they're telling you about these vehicles of investment. Who's telling you about it? Business owners, investors, because they know that you is down 2 pegs and you're not even going to understand what's being said. So until you replace your paycheck, you're going to be being told all of the things that don't make no money. Like me, I can sit here and tell y'all, do locks, do so much locks that you make $1 million. And then you're going to find that you can't do enough locks to make $1 million, not in 1 year, maybe in a lifetime. So how do the stylists be actually making millions of dollars? We start implementing other things. But first you got to learn how to be the stylist, right? So you go through and you pay your dues. The next thing that happens is you start knowing enough to where somebody wants to learn from you, right? Once somebody wanted to learn from me, my appointments, right? I was doing appointments. My shop used to do retwists for $25. And I would use that special to train my staff. And so we stayed busy all the time, right? But the next thing I know, I had got a call to go to a hair show in Atlanta, and I actually went. When I went to that show, everybody knew who I was. Everybody. Like, I had did the magazines. They was out for 3 years now. I ain't think nothing of it because I never used to travel. But now everybody knew who I was when I went to that show. And they were all wanting to learn from me. Now, at the time, I was in competition with other stylists because, that's what it was. We do the same business. We competing for the same clients. We in competition. what happened was once I started traveling and seeing how people actually did locks, it was like, oh God, y'all just don't know. So I felt bad. I felt like a bully because I was so much better. Okay? And I don't care if y'all don't like me saying that. It's the truth right now. It still is. I was so much better at doing this than everybody in the country. Or I'm gonna say, if you was better, you stayed quiet about it. Like like Jada Kiss, he said, why is a nigga better than Jordan that ain't get that break? Cause he probably stayed quiet about it. He said, is a nigga up north better than Jordan? Cause he in jail. That's why he didn't get the break. However, the point is, I was right there on the spot, traveling, helping people learn, and I found that most people just don't know the proper way to do this, right? So what happened next is we went from retwisting to interlocking, right? I still ain't started interlocking yet, okay? And then after that, they still couldn't retwist, so they went to locksmithing, which is one-handed, moving the hair around like this. Now, I don't know why they told y'all that this motion even is twisting the hair, because it's not, okay? However, that's what you see most people doing with their little one-handed nonsense going on to be trendy. However, it's like, that's why it's such a good time to get in, because a retwist takes me less than an hour most of the time, and my retwist is $275 right now. And the reason why I'm able to get that much is because it lasts. It lasts. I'm gonna post my client after I get off. I got a client who get only a retwist. She come every 7 weeks. Her retwist still be intact in 7 weeks, right? So yeah, she don't mind paying over $200 to get just a wash and retwist. And this is what I'm teaching stylists, you know, how to be experts at this. Cause, you know, and not only that, I'm so humble. You'll never see me flashy, never see me, I'm regular. But I teach women, I help them do this, and I love doing it, okay? I love the impact. A lot of the women who I do teach, their husbands even wind up opening a business as well. You know what I'm saying? Because it's that mindset of entrepreneur, of business owner, of self-employed. It's those mindsets that you want to do. So when you start teaching people, you got to understand that you saying, I'm a hair care teacher, right? But what is them knowing the hair care doing for their life? It's helping them replace their paycheck. It's helping them open a business. It's helping them get financial independence. It's helping them to relieve the stress of the worrying about bills. It's helping them to actually just make better changes in their life. So for me, yes, I come up here, I talk about how to replace your paycheck, but it's because I did it. I'm not teaching you nothing that I learned about somewhere else. This is some shit I actually did. And if y'all want to go back through the videos, you could see hair videos that I made in 2007 on this channel, just showing you that the proof is in the pudding. You also could see the transformations, the class transformations. So I always share the results of the people who actually took my class. So from now on, guys, it's not enough to say you a teacher. Drop that link to your online management system. Drop that link to your new cheat sheet. Drop that link to how you are helping others become sufficient, right? So let's talk about it. And I know you want to replace your paycheck, right? Right? So you don't have to be a hairstylist yet to want to replace your paycheck. I want you to decide you're going to come over to being a hairstylist, because that is the replacement, right? But once you get good at that, what we also going to show you how to do is now make the money without working, right? Don't you want to make money while you sleep, right? Ain't you tired of commuting to the job? And if you think that you've seen celebrity stylists, you know, like Beyonce stylist, for instance, she on a retainer, right? She make $1 million on retainer. However, you got to be there when that lady call. So it's like you could either be a high paid employee, or you could still shoot for them same stars as your own business. And then the cool thing about us replacing our paycheck, because this is one thing I think most people don't realize, is that until you replace your paycheck, you are on the employee tax session, right? That means that they're going to take 33% of your money before you even get it. But when we change into being our own boss, we get to decide whether we're going to get taxed on that money or whether we want to use it as a profit or whatever. We also get to decide that we want to hire our family, right? We put our family on a payroll and get tax breaks and all of this stuff. So the thing is, if you still sitting on the fence wondering if you should do your own business doing locks, of course you should, okay? What you shouldn't do is keep talking to the people that don't have no business about it. What you shouldn't do is start talking to the clients about how your prices should be either. I find a lot of people do that. Oh, I started talking to some people and they were saying that I was thinking something that was going to be too high. And I always ask them, well, who told you that? It's always the clients. Don't talk to them about your prices, okay? Especially if they're going to make you second guess your worth, right? Then we ain't talking to them. Okay, so hey guys, if you want to replace your paycheck, right, because you are tired of working, you might be getting older and starting to feel scared that you're going to lose everything. You might be somebody who is a hard worker and it just feels like, you know what, this ain't working. Because they told us that work hard to be successful. Work hard to be successful. However, the person who told you that was a boss who owned a company. He wanted you to work hard in that company, and that's how you're going to be successful in the company. But that success would have been theirs, not yours. It's their kids that get to go to college and drive a Ferrari and all of this stuff. Your kids is waiting for you to come home so you can make dinner. You see what I'm saying? So when we take these jobs, it's almost like saying, it's okay, I'm fine with somebody making more money than me and oppressing me, right? But we have a way to now replace the paycheck because you're tired of working. And I think that a lot of people must have sent a prayer out to God. I think that they sent a prayer out to God and asked God, please show us something else because this can't be it, okay? Did you hear Kendrick's song? He said they told him to work hard without lifting his head up, but that left him fed up. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that's how you're going to get from working hard. Now, if you're ready to work smart and replace that paycheck, this is what the first step is. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to realize that you've been being fooled all this time, right? You're going to realize that it been people who ain't got your best interests at heart because you know why? They wanted you to stay at a dead-end job, right? And they even started acting like you having that dead-end job meant that you was a good person, right? Or they'll do this, right? They'll be like, oh, you still at the job? When you gonna let me hold something? And the answer is never, because you don't never got no money still. So what, you working at the damn job, okay? All right, I want y'all to know I meet a lot of guys, right? And you know, I don't never be flamboyant. I straight be humble. And those guys be trying to tell me how most people, being rich, that's not for everybody. Everybody not meant to be rich. And I'm like, yeah, the people who want to be broke and stupid, they're not meant to be rich. But if that's something you desire, then yes, it can be done, okay? And I want y'all to get, I'm not rich, all right? But I'm rich with education. I'm rich with helping others. I have started or helped to start over 1,000 businesses that's gonna do locks in this country alone. So from 2012 to now, okay? So if you wanna replace your paycheck, if you tired of commuting, I know you want to feel accomplished. I know you want to see that bank account growing. I know you want this to be your last holiday season that you ended with no money, okay? I know that your taxes is coming, and I know that damn well you better not go and spend up all of your money this holiday season, and then when your taxes come, you're going to spend that too. However, you did not start building any clients, right? We get a lot of people that take time out of their schedule to go look for a job, apply for a job, wait for this. When you could have did the same thing at Staples, right? Go on Canva, make you some business cards, and instead of waiting for the job, go give out a card. Take the card to this person. Give out the card and promote your services. That's the quickest way to start making more money immediately. And guess what? Ain't gonna be nobody there to tell you when to go to the bathroom or to tell you when to stop and go to lunch. Now, those things is good. However, not all the time. Some of y'all need that type of discipline of the job telling you everything to do. But if that's you, then this is not for you. And you could kind of get off of the video right now because you're happy with that, right? If you happy being in the I'm gonna say post-slave movement, because it's post-slavery, right? The same companies still own companies, okay? When slavery was in, the same corporations we see now that are the big corporations, most of those corporations was slave-owning slave masters, plantations. And when they switched this over to you guys can work and make your own money, they needed to tell us something that still made us not prosperous, okay? Because now you can make your own money, but I don't want you to be prosperous, right? That's what they were saying, right? So we got tricked into going and spending 40 hours in a week, going back every single day for the whole damn week. We got tricked into sending our kids out to go to school when they should be in here helping us do our family business, right? And you see that most of these kids that go to school nowadays, they don't know how to adult. They're not even mentally stable enough to not commit suicide. So when you saying that you are on the fence, or that you not sure if you want to go and step out on faith and do your talent. Like, this is why I'm up here, and this is why I'm sounding so passionate about it. This is why I didn't just go into a whole nother spill with the ignorant little motherfucker that was on my comments, because I'm really trying to help y'all understand this is definitely the easy way to work, okay? And once you get good at this, once you get confident, I will show you some other things, but you got to have confidence for those. You see, I have confidence. So I know that when I go and try to teach something, I'm confident. Guess what? I don't get through to everybody. I'm not even going to make it seem like I do. I don't get through to everybody. I don't get through to everybody. I don't. I get some people that I get through to. However, I give everybody something. So I give you lock styling. If you somebody who wants to replace your paycheck, you will take those videos and I'll see you in a few months and you will come back and tell me, Yanni, I quit my job, right? They do it all the time, okay? Now, the thing is that this does replace your paycheck. It does. It's a whole nother stream of income. The difference is that it's cash flow income. It's not a paycheck. A paycheck is the opposite of cash flow income, and I'll tell you how it works. The cash flow goes into the business. So you probably working at that business, especially if you do fast food or a restaurant or any kind of thing like that where you're not the owner, right? That means that you're watching and helping them make thousands of dollars an hour. And how much is they giving you an hour? And you fine with that? I can't resonate. I can't resonate with that. We help companies make so much money. Even during slavery, they wasn't paying us. They wasn't giving us nothing. What's the difference now? There's no difference, right? Then they like playing with you about your money. So you probably got a 401k sitting in an account that after the pandemic happened, probably tore that 401k up. You don't get that money back. You don't get that money back, okay? You don't get that money back. And a lot of times they tell you this with the 401k, you're getting compound interest. I want you to know that compound interest belongs to you. You don't have to put it in no account to get it. Compound interest is you showing up every day for your clients, right? Because if you start today, you might have one client, you might have 0 clients. But if you still coming back, like you go to that job faithfully, you know what's going to happen? Your one client going to turn into 2 clients, going to turn into 4, going to turn into 8, going to turn into 16, going to turn into 32, going to turn into 64. And next thing you know, you got your compound interest yourself, okay? So once we do that, the stress of money, it starts to leave us. Once we do that, the stress of not being able to do what you want, it leaves you. And you start to feel light and airy, right? Now, here's the thing is that light and airiness is going to aggravate some people. It's going to aggravate all of the ones who still go to work, right? And they're going to look at you like a lot of times I get paid on my phone. Nobody even knows I just got paid. And you might hear somebody talking about, oh, well, you don't do hair no more, so what you be doing? I don't do anything, right? I come up here and talk. I get women into my transformation, and then I change their fucking life for the better, like they ain't never seen nobody do before. If you don't believe me, check out my playlist that says Lock Class Transformations, right? And you will see so many other women who have already replaced their paycheck. They got tired of working, okay? They got tired of it, and they got with me, and they stepped out on faith. They got tired of slaving, right? Right? And then the crazy thing is, during the pandemic, some of them got laid off with no pay. Some of them was told either get the vaccine or you fired, right? And so a lot of these women who did come out and replace their paycheck doing locks, it wasn't because they wanted to open a business. It was because they didn't want to return back to the lifestyle that they had before the pandemic. Let me see. You like it? Okay. It looks nice. You want to show the people? Show them your ponytail. Just come in real quick and show them. Yeah, this is cute. Okay, awesome. So she's been dying to get this style with the Marley here with the ponytail, and that was basically it. So I just wanted her to show y'all because she was really, really excited about that one. But anyway, guys, so we just talking about replacing your paycheck because it's a lot of y'all that ain't getting paid shit. And y'all is operating off of the principles of the 1900s. And that ain't been for 24 years that we've been in the 1900s. So if you still operating off of those principles that you need to go to school and get a good job, right? Or if you still operating off of the principles that it take money to make money, even that's not true no more. You know that? Even that's not true anymore, that it takes money to make money, right? Right? You might have been under the impression that you need to try to figure out when could I take the course, what time, and, you know, when is the class, and this and that. A lot of people, before I even get them into the training, they like, I need to know what time is class so I could da-da-da-da-da. But the thing is, I've been teaching this class a long time, baby. I don't need you to never get in class to teach it to you. I could tell it to you. That's how good I am at it. If you don't believe it, go ahead and watch some of the testimonials. So what starts to happen is that after you first step out on faith, right, you're going to do your first business. But what's going to happen after that is you're going to develop business skills, right? Once you got business skills, you could take that forever, wherever, right? And what do I mean by that? It's like I opened up a business. I opened up a hair salon, right? So now when I see people opening up hair salons, they making up all types of mistakes, right? I know how to get past those mistakes. I know how to open up with no stylist and be fully staffed in 2 days. I have a strategy, right? I know how to take a shop that's in a really bad location and make it start getting walk-ins like it's in a good location, right? Because I've had to do it, you see? When you get online and you start seeing these people talk about what they can help you do, a lot of them have never done it. They just know it's a good marketing strategy, right? Or they heard about somebody else doing it with their niche, you see? I am the one. When we talk about the first lock styling class that came out, you will see clearly that it happened on this channel right here, right? So what we talking about, guys, is why you need to be replacing that paycheck and starting something with locks, okay? I'm gonna tell y'all some good stuff. If you don't even want to do locks, just sell the products. This is a $13 billion industry that the Chinese are benefiting off of. The whites are benefiting off of, but we are the clients. So this time, you can actually, and the thing is, when you are right there, like most stylists, let's talk about y'all for 1 second, okay? I gotta talk about y'all for 1 second. So most stylists are leaving so much money on the table. One thing that is making y'all leave this money on the table is because you think that there's an answer for your hair care problems on a video, right? Y'all think that that's where the problems is solved, that it's on somebody's video. But I'm here to tell you, I could tell you how to fix dandruff, seborrheic dermatitis, all of that stuff on a video. However, you could tell me how to fix it if your ass just try it one time and not look for somebody else to tell you how, you see? Because most people don't know how to cure things, because we live in a country where that's not even, you better not cure nothing, right? But when I do hair care, when I have clients, I can't have my client with dandruff over and over and over years later and they still got dandruff. I just can't do that, right? So I have to know the real deal stuff. What happens when stylists are working and the clients don't want to pay them and all of this stuff is because they don't know what a expert knows. Like if I come to you and I have dandruff and flakes, one of my people on Instagram, she sent me her work, and I'm looking at the hair and it's like white patches all on the scalp. Why would you even send me that picture to look at the style? I'm not looking at no style. I'm looking at how raggedy that scalp is, right? Right? And so after that, when I say to her, what is this white stuff on the scalp? She says, it's seborrheic dermatitis. I said, oh, okay. Why didn't you get rid of it? And she told me that she did. She gave the client a regimen that included them taking a vitamin, putting oil on it and something else. And my thing is, but it's still there. So what did you do? And she's like, oh, a herbalist made the regimen for me. And my thing is, a herbalist, they made the regimen for you. Look. The regimen can literally be done if you just do trial and error on your own clients and stop looking at these videos, okay? So we talking about how to replace your paycheck. Right now I'm talking about how to be an expert, because you could replace your paycheck easy by just doing high ticket services. But I tell you another way to replace it is to do services that people do wrong for a high ticket. Get what I'm saying? So if lock extensions is $1,000, but most people are doing them incorrectly, then you could definitely sell a $1,500 head, a $2,000 head, because it's cheaper for a person to pay you $2,000 than it is for them to go and get a raggedy install, need another one, lose the hair, lose the time, stress about it. All those things cost more than them just paying you a little bit more to do the style, right? Right? All those things, okay? So I want y'all to get this. Having the right mentor is going to build your business, all right? If you want to replace your paycheck, you can't come home and tell the people that ain't doing it what you got going on, okay? You can't come home and tell the spouse who really is only secure because you beneath them right now, right? I get a lot of that too, is that, and I'm not speaking on nobody's marriage. However, a lot of times when women come get in this class and they start leveling up and they start making more money than they ever made in life, that changes the dynamic of the relationship that they are in. And so many of these marriages that are so-called together, that whole dynamic is different now because the woman is self-sufficient or financially independent now, you know? And it's like, that's what's, you know, it's just side effects. But the issue is that, again, when you're going into these kinds of spaces, you got to go in with the right people in your ear. You know what I'm saying? You can't go in with the people that are threatened by your existence or threatened by your level up. A lot of people are going to be threatened by your level up, right? And these be the people y'all sleep with. It be the people you go home and share your ideas with. And that be the reason why you still ain't step out on faith yet, and why you don't have the confidence, because you're sharing your energy with somebody who ain't even resonating with your growth, right? So you can't come to me like that. You can't come to us like that and decide you're going to replace your paycheck, because you're not going to do it. I don't want nobody who's not going to do it. I don't want nobody who's going to feel like they need a refund after I show them. And I sure don't want nobody who finds out that they is making literally only $40 a week from a job they do 2 days. And when they go home and tell that family that they quit that job, that family is mad at them. And then they come back being mad at me. I've had that happen to me. A lady was only making $40 for 2 days of work. And she was traveling, she was commuting. And when I told her she got to quit that job or she got to get out the class, she decided to quit, went home to her employee family, and next thing you know, they had her feeling bad about not giving notice to a job that she had to go. If you gave notice, right, you literally driving there, you spending $20 each way. All she gets to keep is $40 out the check. Her family has her feeling bad about quitting this job. I couldn't believe it. But the point is, it's the mindset. Like, it sounds like it sounds like it's just straight out arithmetic, adding and subtracting, right? But it's not. It's the mindset shift. That's what you want. You want to get around people that have the entrepreneurial mindset. So before you even decide to replace your paycheck or anything, I want you to figure out who the entrepreneurs are that's in your life, right? And you need to get around them and ask them questions. If you know anybody who's into sales, right, that's the person that you need to talk to when it's time for you to step out on faith and get your paycheck replaced, okay? Because you want to replace it. You want to replace it because you can. And you can do it so fast that it's like, why do you work at the job? Why did you think that that was good? And, you know, we get it. At the time, it was good. But most people is at a job 20 years and they still ain't got ahead financially yet, right? Now, it could either be because you don't know how to manage money, but a lot of times it's just because that just ain't enough money. It's just not. And so what we're doing is taking women, empowering them, and I'm taking barbershops and I'm helping barbershops do this. But we got to stop leaving this money on the table. It is definitely our money. So if you want to replace that paycheck because you're ready to feel your sense of self-worth growing because your bank account is growing and you are not stressed out and you're not commuting and you're not answering things that you really don't want to do and you're not sending your kids out to be with total strangers so that you could keep your job and all of those things that actually cost you more money, right? That the job never mentions is the actual cost. I want you to send me a message. Matter of fact, just comment on the video and I'll see it and I'll reach out to you guys. However, I'm helping women replace their paychecks. And literally the last time we did this, it only took 12 days. The woman was making $750 every 2 weeks. And we basically got her trained, booked, and everything in 12 days. And I spoke with her recently, a few days ago. Hey, did the lock extensions come out? They did not slip. The client is pleased, and that's actually her client now. So she started out not knowing much of anything. She learned this one hair hack, and then from then on, she started building the clients. But the important thing is that the hair hack she learned, it paid good. And so all she got to do is do that and get you a client at least one time every 2 weeks, because her paycheck literally wasn't even $750 a week. It was every 2 weeks, right? So for her, it was like, hey, all you got to do is do this twice and you make more money than your job, right? And so the thing is, your job was invented in the 1900s or the 1800s, right? Right? But we in the 2024. So if you still making money the same way as the people that was in the 1900s and, you know, the 2000s, come up here to 2024, learn how to replace your paycheck. It literally doesn't even take more than a few hours to do. I'm gonna show you how to get booked on StyleSeat. We're gonna use StyleSeat, y'all. Why I'm not using no other booking app? Because StyleSeat is the one who's recommending people, okay? I like StyleSeat for that. And we actually use StyleSeat plus the Little Black Book of Clientele Building Secrets, right? Y'all don't even know this. I got a book called the Little Black Book of Clientele Building Secrets that actually gets you booked same fucking day. Like if it's your first time, your first day going on this booking app, it literally will get you booked same day. I used it for so many of my students, and that's how we actually get booked. So when we teach classes here, we don't just teach you how to do the hair. We actually teach you how to get booked. And we work with you in the class until you get booked, until you learn something, okay? So these courses and classes here, I don't even call them that no more. This is all transformations, right? And a transformation can't be faked. A transformation clearly shows where you were before you met me and where you are right now. So that's what I do, is transformations, not classes, not lock classes. I'm not doing classes, okay? I used to. I have cheat sheets now. I have ways for you to learn this stuff so you can replace your paycheck where it really don't even take anything out of your time, right? The only thing that you have to be able to commit to is paying me, okay, and then to doing the process. However, if you commit to doing the process, you could pay me after you get the results. And that is how confident I am that I'm going to help you replace your paycheck once you get signed on there. Not only that, because these paychecks is low, y'all. For the stuff y'all be dealing with. All right. So I will see you guys a little bit later because I'm going to be coming back on here all day because I got to make sure y'all not about to go out here and spend all this money for the holidays and you ain't got one product out here. You ain't got one way to bring no money back in, but you ready to go. The problem is that that's a set amount, right? Ain't no cash flow coming in to put that money back. So when you keep doing this, after a while, you're going to get palms, right? So we want to definitely be there to make sure that you receive some of that money back for this holiday season. I want to definitely be there to make sure that your business is thriving, right? I want to be there to make sure that you got good customer service. And I want y'all to get this as a loctician. Your customer service is a little bit different, okay? A lot of people, they have a business where customer service is saying, hi, may I help you? Right? Even though that is a part, that's a part of customer service. The real part of customer service is doing hair care and taking care of somebody's hair. In this point, you could actually be mean to the customer. They will come back because what was really the service is doing that here like an expert. Now, once you master that, some of the customer service that people do trying to be nice and get customers, you could just leave that alone because they don't care about how nice you are. And nobody's nice if my hair didn't last for more than a few minutes after you did it. You was not nice to me. I don't care how much customer service you thought you did. If my hair was jacked up, you ain't do no customer service. And you actually could have just stopped right then and there and saved some face. Because y'all learning how to say, yes, and may I help you to the customer, but you ain't learning how to fix no dandruff. So how you going to replace your paycheck before this fast? You're not going to. Because, again, you could do it. But if you want the results that we talking about in the time that we talking about, because anybody can do anything. It's how fast can you do it? Can you do it fast? Right? That's what makes it valuable. It's because it is quick, guys. It is taking women who have never done hair for a living before, right? You might just got a little son with locks or whatever. You just inquiring. I took women like that, like Artrice. Artrice just wanted to learn how to do them for her family because she was in the Army. Next thing you know, Artrice had made $20,000 before the end of the year. And this is just doing locks maybe once a week. Maybe. You know? And so this is something that we really have on our hands that I don't think a lot of y'all even get it. I don't think a lot of y'all know. Okay, so I'm gonna be up here making sure that you get what this does for you, okay? So if you're ready to replace your paycheck, you're ready to quit your job, if you're ready to be your own boss, this is definitely the space for you. But if you need to do it in a community of like-minded people, definitely send me that call. I'll send you the link so that you can get in my Lock Boss community and get around the people with the right mindset so that you could start your journey to replacing your paycheck. Okay, guys? I will see y'all later. And you might want to check out, I put a new video out today. New to me, new to y'all, old to me. But that video is teaching you how to do the basket bun that a lot of people try. I've seen a lot of people try it, you know, often imitated, never duplicated. If you want to see it done by the original, go check out my video today. And I want you to use that same hairstyle to make your next $200 with locks. Okay, that's why I'm giving y'all the styles for free. But if you need to learn how to do a neat retwist, you can hop in a meeting with me with a client. Okay, when I say meeting, I mean online, right? You hop in with me like that with a client, and I will have you doing a flawless retwist that only takes about 30 minutes, no matter what. Okay? I will have you doing that before the end of the day. All right? All right, guys. I will see you later. Awesome. ooh, I don't know how to cut out.